All right, y'all. Welcome back to What in the State of Washington, your plain talk guide to Washington politics and policy. I'm your host, Anya Robertson, and I'm so glad you're back. It's October 2025, and we are officially back just 1 month out from Election Day. And before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to Voz Tacoma Radio Universal, where we record and where we're supported to make this podcast for the community. This work doesn't happen alone, and I'm so grateful for the space and the partnership that make What in the State of Washington possible. Now, elections can feel overwhelming. There's a lot of noise, and it's not always clear how decisions in Olympia or at your local ballot box really affect your everyday life. That's where this podcast comes in. Between now and November 4th, I'll be breaking down it all. So you don't have to dig, you don't have to find out who's on the ballot, what the ballot measures actually mean, and why all of this matters for our communities. We're going to talk to you about that. Now, let me pause for just a second because these two words get thrown around all the time, politics and policy. So in plain talk, politics is the game. It's the people running for office, people building coalitions, trying to win support and votes. It's messy, it's loud, and sometimes it feels like a show. Now, policy is what actually sticks after the noise dies down. It's the rules, the laws, the programs, those things that shape daily lives, like whether we fund affordable housing, how schools get money, or how healthcare is delivered. So politics is the fight to get power, and policy is what folks do with that power once they've got it. So back on August 5th, Washington held its primary election. And let me break this down just a little bit. The primary is like the playoff round before the championship, right? Everybody who wants the job gets their name on the ballot, and then we, the voters, we decide who moves on to the final game in November. So in Washington, it doesn't matter what party you're from. The top two finishers go forward. That means the November ballot is shorter and clearer with only the strongest contenders left. So here's what came out of the primary. In Seattle, it's now a showdown for mayor between incumbent Bruce Harrell and challenger Katie Wilson. And when I say incumbent, that just means the person who already has the job and is running to keep it. In King County, the crowded county executive race has narrowed down to a competitive head-to-head. And let me pause here. The county executive is basically like the CEO of the county. They oversee the budget, manage departments like public health and transportation, and make sure services actually get delivered. Things like buses running, health clinics open, or small business permits processed. In short, they run the day-to-day operations for the whole county. Across the state, 9 legislative seats are up for grabs in November, 5 in the Senate, 4 in the House. Now, if you need a refresher on what a legislator does or the difference between the House and the Senate, check out my past episodes. I've already broken that down in plain talk so you can follow along without the political jargon. And for everyone in Washington, the statewide ballot measure this fall will ask if our long-term services and supports trust fund, basically the saving pool meant to help folks pay for future care, they're asking, should that be allowed to be invested in stocks and equities and not just bonds? Now, let's zoom in on Pierce County since, like me, that's home for so many of us. Here's what you'll see on the ballot locally. So County Council District 5 and a county charter review, There's going to be local seats across Port of Tacoma, 23 cities and towns, 17 school districts, 12 fire districts, 4 park districts, 4 water districts, and a sewer district. There's going to be special elections for schools and levies, like replacement levies for Steilacoom, Historical, Yelm, Ording, and Auburn school districts. Some require a simple majority, while others, like capital bonds, need 60% to pass. A couple of local ballot measures too, like whether Milton should allow fireworks and a proposal for a sales tax to support cultural programs. So whether you're in Tacoma, Lakewood, Gig Harbor, Puyallup, or beyond, there's plenty on this ballot that will hit close to home. Now, let's talk about you, how to make sure you're ready for Election Day. First, mark your calendar. Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 is General Election Day. Ballots are about to go out. They'll be mailed no later than October 17th, which is just a couple of weeks away. So, go to votewa.gov today to confirm your voter registration or update your information. If you're registered, your ballot will be mailed automatically. No need to request one. If you need to update your address, the deadline to do that online is October 27th. And if you miss that deadline, don't worry. You can still register and vote in person at a county voting center through 8 p.m. on Election Day. In Pierce County, that's the election center at 2501 South 35th Street in Tacoma. And if you prefer drop boxes, there are 51 locations across the county, free, secure, and open until 8 p.m. on election night. So these races and ballot measures are about more than politics. They're about schools, housing, safety, healthcare, and how our tax dollars get spent. Your ballot is your power, and together, our voices set the direction for Washington. So, in our next episode, we're going to dive deeper into the how of voting. We'll talk about how to register if you've never voted before, how to check your information and update your address so your ballot doesn't get lost in the mail. And one tool that's unique to Seattle voters, they have the $100 democracy vouchers. Now, these are real dollars the city gives you to support your favorite candidates running for local office. We'll break down how to claim them, how to use them, and why they matter for community power. So, this is about us, our people, our future, and our power. Again, I'm Anya Robertson, and this is What in the State of Washington, recorded right here at Vos Tacoma Radio Universal, with gratitude for their support in bringing this podcast to the community. Let's get into this together. Have a great day.